With that Roger popping along like hello everyone and welcome back to the Absolutely WSL and Women's Championship show. We can't wait to be with you because there has been so much that's happened this week, so much so that I probably can't remember any of it. So let's get to it. But of course I couldn't do this by myself. I've got a lovely team with me tonight. As first up, Ant, it feels like forever since I've seen you. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, pity about the result on Sunday, but apart from that, spot on. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I was just saying before we came on camera, I now can't hear, and I'm at the first stage of a cold where I can't really pronounce things. So yes, we have been plagued by illness in the team this week. So for everyone, we will be keeping it short and sweet, and then we can all get to bed nice and early. Because Danny, you want to have a nice early night, don't you?
I do, yeah, I'm up early tomorrow. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. How's everyone in the chat? Good to see everyone. And it's that Christmas tree behind you as well. Just I couldn't.
So it hasn't gone back in the box from when Blair made me get it out when Cheltenham scored last year. So hang on, there we go.
No, it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, I've been too lazy to put it back in the loft. So
nice. Oh, I like it. I like it. And of course, Rosie, how are you?
I'm so excited. I'm in my Chelsea third shirt, ready for the weekend. Get your tickets if you haven't already.
I was going to say, you heard it yet? Because is it 30,000 now they've sold?
It's over 30, yeah. We're nearly sold out. So buzzing.
That's amazing. So yes, if you haven't already and you can get down to Stamford Bridge this weekend, you need to. It's going to be an absolute belter against Barcelona. I was there for the leg, this leg last year, and that was 1-0 as well. So there must be something in the water for this return leg. But we are going to talk about it when we get to that and any other business. And thank you to everyone who's watching already, everyone in the chat. We've got our lovely Shah with us. We are all good. Thank you very much. And what a team. Thank you very much. We'll have that one. And hello to Chloe. Thank you very much for joining us as well. And right, let's dive straight into it, shall we? Let's start with our WSL. Now, it seems like Man City had the monopoly on goals this weekend because throughout the WSL and Championship, most people seem to be 1-0 and there wasn't much in it. However, this one, who should we start with? Brighton Everton. Danny, did I give that one to you?
You did, yeah. And I was cursing your name for about the first 50 minutes of the game on Friday night when I sat there tucked in. I thought, oh, brilliant WSL action for Friday night. Not a lot going on in the first half in this one, but
and then a moment of magic, wasn't it?
It was twin magic. It was brilliant. But yeah, it was a very, very tight first half. Fairly uneventful. But Brighton were trying to play out from the back, and they were they were preparing to become their worst enemy, their own worst enemy, because they just hadn't got it quite right playing out from the back. And Everton were really snappy into their challenges. They looked like there was going to be a goal from a mistake from Brighton, but they survived until half time at 0-0. Couple of chances for Brighton at the start of the second half, and then it just all kicked off within about sort of 10 minutes of each other. 3 goals in 10 minutes. Everton taking the lead, the twin telepathy coming into play, Karen Holmgaard off the bench to head in across from a twin sister, which is amazing. Lovely stuff. I don't know how often that's happened, but that's a brilliant thing to have happened at the weekend. Brighton got back into it. Tatiana Pinto smashing in. Brosnan couldn't quite hold the free kick and Pinto's nipped in to equalise. But then Everton, about 7 or 8 minutes later, have come back and an own goal from Bergsven's big old mix-up at the back for that one. For what turned out to be the winner. A few nervy moments at the end for Everton, but got through it in the end. Brosnan making up for it with a couple of good saves. One in particular from Katie Robinson was superb. And yeah, holding out for an important win for Everton, that one. I say it's a win on the way to safety, but we all pretty much know it was there already. It just kind of solidifies that a little bit, doesn't it? And after the Bristol City result that we'll come on to later, that means both of these teams are safe. So, but yeah, all in all, a really good result for Everton on the road. That, and good way to celebrate Brian Sorensen signing his new contract as well, which he's signed this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Because going into that one, could you peg either one as the winner out of those two? Because they've
not really. They're close to call, weren't they? I mean, Everton hadn't. Yeah. I think they're coming into it at not 1 in 5 in all competitions, so fairly big for them to get back off the mark again. But going into it, I wouldn't have been able to pick a winner. I don't think I would have had this down as a 1-1, something like that. But yeah, so really good one for Everton.
Yeah, so a massive one there for those 3 points, absolutely. And I think I'm coming to myself next for this one. Bristol City 0, Liverpool 1. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I didn't think that was just going to be a 1-0.
No.
I thought Liverpool would have got a lot more past them. But that just shows Bristol's kind of tenacity, doesn't it, and determination to keep that goal difference down, how strong their defence is. Because I was watching it and I was thinking, how Liverpool not finding the back of the net more, because Bristol, you could tell they were low on confidence, and especially in that first half, very shaky. Lost their last 11 games at home. So again, at this point, it's points for pride, isn't it? Because we all kind of know it's Bristol being relegated. Unless something dramatically changes, but I'm pretty sure whatever it is, Bristol's going to go down. But Shea Yanez in goal. Don't know if anyone saw that clearance that got intercepted. Rebounded off Sophie Roman-Haug and almost got the opener, but luckily a defender made it back in time to clear it. Marie Hobinger has been phenomenal this season, has some really lovely moments, and she opened the scoring and kept it with that winner. It was a lovely first time strike with her left foot, and Yanez just couldn't have got to it. But it seemed that in the second half, Bristol really seemed to change and come together, and Thestrup nearly got the equaliser, and it was really disappointing for her. It was a poor Liverpool pass had switched off for a little bit because it could have been 4-0 up by that point. But Amelie Thestrup nearly got the equaliser. But Yanez too. Can't even think. See, this is impacting my brain now. I can't think of the phrase. To her credit, there we go. She did make up for that dodgy opener. She made some massive saves, like I said, especially one. I don't know if anyone saw it, but she got fouled by Roman-Haug again. She kind of came into the box, clipped Yanez with her shoulder, so Yanez has dropped the ball. So Roman-Haug taps it in, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a goal. What are you talking about?" And luckily, the ref spotted it and was like, "No, you can't clatter the keeper after it." So there can't be too many complaints about that one. But yeah, 1-0. I don't know if I was a bit disappointed or not. But again, another important 3 points for Liverpool for that one. And if we just kind of look slightly at the table, Liverpool now 5th, level with Man United. And I don't think at the beginning of the season, Liverpool are the dark horses, I think, of the season. They've done very, very well and consistently very well with that one. Okay, next one we've got, which, I mean, it was probably one of the most intense ones of the weekend. Man United 2, Tottenham 2. Danny, are we going back to you for this one?
Yes, yeah, I think so. And if Friday night was, I was cursing your name, I was very happy to get this one. Obviously, the FA Cup final preview, we'll call it. It's a precursor to the cup final. Obviously, loads of things are going to be different for the cup final. It's the atmosphere, the stadium, the pitch, everything like that. But if the final is anything like this game, then we're in for an absolute treat at Wembley. I really hope it lives up to this, because this was brilliant from the start. Spurs so close. They'd never beaten United in the WSL at all in 9 games, so that they came so close to winning it. It almost took the lead after 30 seconds as well. Matilda Vinberg, I thought, had a brilliant game. Grace Clinton obviously absent because she's not allowed to play against Man United, but I thought Vinberg stepped in and did fantastically well down the left-hand side. Threw in a cross for Beth England, very nearly scored within 30 seconds. So that would have been a nice start from United. Calmed themselves a little bit after that and then scored from a free kick. Melvin Mallard seemed there was about 7 Spurs defenders around her, and she somehow seemed to nip in and head the ball in past Spencer. She just completely on her own, despite being crowded by Spurs defenders. I'm not quite sure how she managed it. But she nipped that one in. But then Spurs, within a couple of minutes, midway through the half, completely turned it around. The first goal, slightly dodgy. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Drew Spence from the edge of the area fires it in. I think it's been credited to Beth England, but I'm not. If they're crediting it to England, I'm not sure it should have stood, really, because she might have been offside, but also she might have been right in the way of Mary Earps in the goal. So there's a little bit of controversy over that one. But that drew them level. And then Spurs took the lead pretty much straight afterwards. Like, so much confusion at the back for United again. As soon as they've got one thing against them, they've let themselves down again at the back, and just a moment of sheer confusion between Earps and the defence. I think Mannion was on the right-hand side, and Earps didn't come to collect. There's miscommunication. Vinberg chased it down, plays it back, and Jess Naz has done Jess Naz things. Nice bit of trickery on the edge of the area, and a heck of a finish as well, to put them 2-1 up. And throughout that first half, I think Spurs were just properly going for it down the wings and really causing them so many problems in behind and down the wings that you thought there was more and more coming. And United just fell out of what they were trying to do. That they just didn't seem to have a pattern to the play. They didn't seem to know what they were doing or what kind of attacking patterns they were going for. In the second half, they brought on Garcia and Williams. Obviously, the in case of emergency break glass button was pressed, and on comes Rachel Williams. I thought Garcia as well was superb when she came on down both flanks. She started to have a real impact down the right-hand side, and then she switched to the left towards the end of the game when Jace came on, I think it was. They're going for the equaliser, keep trying to batter the door down from Spurs, but Spurs really standing firm. And I think that this kind of game really stands them in good stead, because they've stood up to Man United at their home grounds. They've stood up and kind of been, bring it on, we're on your level kind of thing. They're not shirking away. They're not kind of thinking that they're lower than them. They're not thinking that they're not in the same league as them, because they clearly are this season and ahead of the cup final. I think that's massive for them to go there and get a result, even though it ended up a draw. For them to go and show themselves at Man United, I think it's going to cast doubts into United, but it's also going to give them a lot of confidence. But I think just about on the patterns of play second half, United will deserve it. They've clawed, Spurs clung on right until the very end. The Earps came up with some late corners. I thought we were going to get some lovely action from a keeper there at the end, but in the end it was Rachel Williams, old trusty Rachel Williams, heading against the bar, and then Maya Letitia scrambled in pretty much from the goal line. Like I say, just about deserved, but Spurs will be a little bit disappointed, but on performance-wise and the way they set up, that'll give them so much confidence going into the final.
Definitely, you're right. And like this season, it's been very much we can compete. We can come to you, we're not scared.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. We're not going to give you too much respect. We're going to really go for it. We're going to really attack, and that really came into it, didn't it? And especially before that, it's going to United are going to think, oh, actually, we need to be 100% here. Like we can't afford to switch off. All.
Mark's going to call it an awakening.
An awakening?
Yeah.
Well,
how many is that this season? 9.
I'm not sure what kind of awakening, but it was an awakening apparently.
Well, we know we all like Mark Skinner's post-match. I've got another quote for you here. You're not always going to score, but the 2 goals conceded are not what we're about. They're not our standards, and we've got to be better. Players have got the resilience and mentality. When we need a goal, we'll push. Giving the power of 3 there for anyone for English language users for that emphasis. And do you think they push, Danny?
Maybe they pushed. I'm not sure about push, but they definitely pushed. double push, maybe.
Double push,
that's
rather
about what
push.
it adds, but yeah, they like I said, I did think they deserved the draw in the end based on the second half. But it's going to be another one of them that papers over the cracks a little bit with Mark Skinner. I think we'll keep going on about it, but it looks like it's going to get a new contract, so it'll be another fun watch next season by the looks of it. And it'll be good for the pod. So there we go.
Do you think he's push for the new contract, Danny?
I think he has. Yeah, it's been pushing the door down. I think the new owner is probably like, "Who are you again?" Just go away. I have a new contract and get out.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to afford to sack 2 managers from the Manchester United, because Ten Hag's going to get sacked. I don't think they can afford to sack 2.
Just move him over. Move Skinner over.
Yeah,
that's
it,
Let's do a swap. See what happens. Brilliant. Right now, I've just realised we're missing a game because Rosie, we need to talk about Chelsea Aston Villa. Now, it ended 3-0. So this was on Wednesday. For anyone who missed it, it was rearranged due to Chelsea being wonderful and reaching the Champions League, still there with Barcelona. We'll talk about that later. So this was changed to midweek. It was last Wednesday, so a bit early on. And to be fair, from a Villa point of view, I'll take 3-0, considering everything that happened during that one. Rosie, tell us all about it. What happened in that match?
So there was some very early drama. Red card for Manali. I really can't tell what she was doing there. I mean, I think instinctively when the ball comes at you as a keeper, you dive.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't realise where she was, or she thought she'd just get a yellow, but obviously that's a straight red because you're denying a goal scoring opportunity. But because that would have gone in. But yeah, I thought Sophia Poor did so well when she came on. Because to be a keeper down and still lose 3-0, I mean, it's not bad. Like,
considering it was 6-0 last time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Her debut, 17 years old, I think she did so well. So she should be very happy with herself. Like, there was some early drama and then it sort of settled down a little bit. It was a day of first goals. We had Kanisha Buchanan and Micah Mano both got their first goals for Chelsea. And I thought they both did so well. It was a good team performance. But yeah, I mean, Villa were just unlucky, really, to get that early. And then they kind of held on quite well. I think there were a few scary moments when Rachel Daly sort of put her head in her hands when Sophia Poor went down. Because she wasn't fully fit, was she?
No, I think it was the last time she went down, I think it was cramp. But before that, it was I think it was a calf, straining a calf, I think.
Yeah. She was sort of forced to come on because who else did they have? But
that's why Rachel Daly had her head in her hand, because she's a utility player. She's like, yeah, if she goes down, I'm in goal next.
Only position she hasn't played. So it was like, when's it going to happen? But yeah, I bet the whole of Villa are very, very glad that it carried on.
Well, it's just the fact that because some players might have gone, oh, I'm injured, I've got cramp, I'm off. But she was like, no, I'm determined to kind of stay to the end.
Really? Yeah. For the team, she kind of had to stay on. I think she did so well to actually stay after all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, last time it was 6-0, and that was with 11 players. So the fact that it was 3-0 with 10, progress.
I mean, not great for Chelsea with goal difference, but I mean, we're good to get through as well. So,
well, let's see. It's another 3 points for Chelsea, battling Man City all the way. Do you think then, Rosie, if Villa had 11 players, do you think that would have made much of a difference to that goal difference? It was Ebony Salmon who came off, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ebony Salmon might have done well. I don't know if they would have managed to get a goal in. Maybe conceded less, but I think it sort of would have still been the same game, which is props to Villa for kind of holding up that standard even with one less player.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was kind of watching it and thinking, you know what? Villa aren't playing that bad. It just is annoying that Chelsea are that good. With that one. Sean, good evening. I really don't want Villa to get 2 sent off next time. But with that logic, 0-0 with 9 players, yes. We'll not try it. Maybe in a friendly, if they can arrange that and see what happens. But I don't want to tempt it. Hello as well. I was going to say thank you. No. Hello to Johnny, who's popping in just on his break. That's dedication. Well done. And yeah, thank you very much for everyone in the chat so far. And remember to keep us on it, because who knows where my brain is going at the moment. But next up, back to me, you lucky people. Arsenal 3, Leicester 0. Now, Arsenal always perform at the Emirates, don't they? So we know it was going to be a massive occasion. I was hoping Leicester would have put up a bit more of a fight, to be honest. They had really good spells, but considering how physical they usually are, anyone else managed to catch that match. But massive news for Arsenal. Miedemar and Leon Hudson-Mornham were back on the bench, and got minutes. They finally got back on the pitch. So absolutely fantastic to see those 2 fantastic players back. I'll say fantastic one more time. Now, Leicester started off well, because strike by Mimiki right in the opener. I thought, okay, Leicester are up for this one, but managed to, had to be saved by Zinsberger, and it was a cracking save. And I thought, to be fair, Zinsberger, after there was quite a lot of questions about, wasn't there, about kind of her performance. Does she need to be pushed more for that number 1 spot? Is she becoming a bit too complacent? But I thought she made some cracking saves during that match, to be fair, to keep Leicester down to no goals. But yeah, it just felt like Leicester kind of petered out towards second half, and Arsenal just proved too strong. They had played with so much pace and that fluidity and that confidence. Beth Mead getting a brace, Russo getting the third, and you just think, could they have been, unstoppable that day? And they were. I have to say though, Tierney, really good strike from distance, again forcing Zinsberger into that save. And I thought Leicester could have, considering the chances they had, maybe if Zinsberger was off a little bit, they could have really battled back to get something out of that match. But yeah, the second half, Arsenal just kind of pressed higher because they saw Leicester were kind of trying to play out from the back, and they were like, right, okay, we've got you here. We'll try and get you on that one. And interestingly, after the match, Leicester's coach said, apparently they deviated from their game plan, and they kind of all went to pot a little bit and gave Arsenal just too much time and space, and they kind of fell apart a little bit. So yeah, I'm quite sad for Leicester that they couldn't get more from that, but it was an occasion, and I think 3-0. They took their chances. Arsenal just far too clinical for that one. But yeah, but a good day out to the Emirates. I think it was over 60,000 again? It was a massive attendance for that one.
Beth Mead's form at the minute makes me gutted there's not Euros or World Cup or Olympics this summer, because she seems to have really come in at this point of the season. Now she's started to catch up a bit. She seems to be on absolute fire at the minute.
And the pace she was putting those balls in.
Yeah, she's like, because it took her a while to get back up to speed, I think, but she's last few games she's absolute fire.
Yeah,
gutted there's a bit of a break, but probably needed, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll give them a nice little break, and then next season and come back fighting for that one. Arsenal, though, they have solidified their Champions League spot for next season, so they can be happy about that. And hopefully won't go out in the opening stages, but we'll come to that when we get there. And the final one, Man City 5, West Ham 0. Rosie, I believe I'm coming back to you for this one. Yeah, like I said, monopoly on goals for West Ham. But again, that was filled with a lot of drama, especially near the end. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it just wasn't good enough from West Ham here. I mean, they've been on poor form this season. I mean, obviously 5-0, I'm not gonna. They've been on poor form, and then they've kind of had little moments where, they beat Arsenal. You thought maybe they can give City a good run. No, they can't. Apparently, I just realised on Google you can have like different types of stats. I've got so cool. I've never noticed that. So West Ham had 3 shots.
Funny enough.
West Ham had 3 shots on woodwork, 4 shots blocked. Man City had 0 shots on woodwork and 0 shots blocked.
Says everything, doesn't it?
But yeah, I thought Bunny Shaw obviously was really sad to go down injured at the end, but she had a brilliant first goal. The way she held up the defender, her physicality is insane, and that's something that no one really talks about enough. Like, her ability to just hold up the ball and hold off defenders is incredible. I love that first goal. Jess Park has been on unreal form lately. Yeah. So she assisted the first goal. Obviously had a little bit of a tumble. But
that was hilarious, by the way. For anyone who didn't see it, do you want to kind of describe it?
She kind of fell in a little bit and then just toppled over. But, it was a great assist, so balances it out, I guess.
It was, yeah.
Ironically,
she picked up the ball in midfield and just ran it in. I think that was a brilliant goal. For a player like that, as young as she is, to be able to both assist and score the way that she is lately, she's been unreal, and I'm glad that she's kind of come into that form now. Hopefully she can start doing that for England. I mean, yeah, I'm just very excited for her future and where that goes.
I think she's started to realize that she's a good player now, if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
before, I think she knew it, but
That
it feels like
confidence,
it feels like now she's got that confidence. It's like, yeah, I belong here. This is my time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because her runs, her directness, it seems to be getting better and better by the week.
Just it's one thing. Yeah, it's one thing to be able to assist, but then to have the confidence to think, now I'm going to shoot this. I picked up this ball. I deserve to shoot that for her goal. Claire.
Yeah, for everyone, we are laughing at Claire. Rosie, I'm in love with that poshy sound. Is that saying that we all sound common? Is that what this is?
Anyway, yeah, just great goal.
Have we all got to talk posh for the rest of it? So we blend in with Rosie. Is that?
So Khadija Shaw.
Khadija Bunny Shaw, yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her next. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she went off suspected broken foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good.
Which, she got a 50th WSL goal, and then I don't want to say celebrates, but kind of culminates in an injury. But she went down holding a knee. So the fact that I've then said broken foot was a bit strange. But yeah, everyone change your fantasy teams. Okay, here's a reminder.
Yeah, thanks.
Because she is in my team, so I need to do that. But yeah, just safe, speedy recovery and a safe recovery, I suppose, as well. But just kind of going back to Jess Park, if you think she wouldn't have had that much of a role if Jill Road hadn't got injured.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of, we wouldn't wish that injury on anyone, but it just shows kind of that depth of squad that City have, that someone can, go off with such a devastating injury, and they've got someone who can really come forward and shine. And I think, it's been a phenomenal season for Jess Park. And I really hope that Gareth Taylor sees her as someone who isn't always second choice, and that she is battling for that position in the starting 11, because she's phenomenal, isn't she?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the issue with Shaw is there is literally no one else that could do what she does the way that she does it. That's my worry for Man City now, is that she's so central to everything she does, like her power, her hold-up play, and her goals as well. They've got players who can score goals. I just don't know if they've got anyone who can come in and do exactly what she does. It's going to be very difficult to replicate. And it was so close to the end of the season. They must just be absolutely gutted. Because they've got a big game against Arsenal coming up. Obviously, they've got Bristol, I think, before that, which they should be okay with. But the Arsenal game, you think that's going to be the key one in the title race, isn't it? That you just think they're going to need something a little bit different. And when they're going for goal difference as well.
That's the thing. It's a goal difference, isn't it? Because right now it's same on points, everything. It's that goal difference. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, Laura Blinkilder-Brown got a first goal for the club as well, in a City shirt, which, proud of her. So maybe she could be a kind of an underdog option, because we've seen how she could be played and used at Villa. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for City, kind of what they do to kind of shimmy it around up front. Because yeah, you're right. There's no one like Bunny, is there, at all? So yes, we are wishing her a speedy recovery, and we can't wait to see her back, really. And in the chat, Paul's dropped in. Hello, lovely for you to join us, Paul. Dropping in off date night at half time at the Merseyside Derby.
Does that mean date night was half time in the Merseyside Derby? Just quick.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If I ever offered my girlfriend date night at a football match, I think I'd get thrown out the door. That would be it.
You'd run away, Ant. It's just running up and down the touchline.
Yeah.
Good point from Paul there as well. Mary Fowler can definitely come in as well. That's again the depth that she's got potentially to come in. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Just Claire. I'm not a Geordie. I'm a Mackham.
That's sacrilege.
Mackham.
Can't call Freya a Geordie.
No.
Pushy.
And just for anyone who's interested, Danny got auto-corrected to Fanny, hence Fanny. We're not calling him anything rude. So yeah.
I was very tempted to log in this week as Fanny, but I think people would have just been, what is going on? But yeah, there we go.
People in the chat being like, does he realise? Has he? Have you auto-corrected yourself at this point?
I'll do that all the time, yeah.
It's okay, Freya autocorrects to Frida, so it's all good. So yes, it was goals galore. So let's have a look at the table, shall we? So unfortunately, Bristol City is still on 6 points right at the bottom. And Man City, because again, Chelsea still have a game in hand. So Man City are at the top at the moment. But if we go down, so we've got 49, 46, 43 Arsenal, which means Man United, Liverpool are both on 32, which means Man United cannot catch Arsenal at this point. And then we've got Tottenham on 26, Villa on 20, Brighton 18, Leicester 18, Everton 17, West Ham 13. Now, I think it's going to be interesting, that middle to bottom part of the table, because there's nothing in it. What the final standings are going to be, and I'm very, very excited for that one. But yeah, unfortunately, West Ham still trailing in 11th place at 13 points, and Bristol, as we said, lots of fight in them, but just not enough.
I love that, by the way, because Villa are 7th and at the top of the bottom half, you're trying to make that into a thing. But yeah, I can't wait for that fight for 7th place that Villa are currently occupying.
You know what, right?
What's involved?
So you can still finish top half.
Let Villa have their own title race for 7th place. Not hurting anyone.
Well, you know what? Stuff you all.
Do we think Bristol City is still in with a chance? Oh, no.
What, of getting 7th? No. No, that's Villa's.
Oh, poor old Bristol.
Poor Bristol. So what, 9, 12. I mean, who have Bristol got coming up? Let's have a look.
They've got Man City next, I think, haven't they? I think they've got a really tough ending. I think every game's tough.
That's a horrible game, isn't it? Considering they've got to win that to stay up. Oh, we've got C. Well.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've got.
Pretty sure they've resigned themselves to it for, yeah.
Yeah. Man City at home. Oh, Chelsea away.
Tell you what, Bristol City could.
Everton at home. Everton's last game of the season. I mean, yeah, no.
It'd be nice to see them win that last one, wouldn't it? Just as a farewell.
It'd be nice for them to win that last one, yeah. Or get something from it. But yeah, bless Bristol. Sean's just asked, how many games have Bristol won this season? I can tell you.
I think it's
Bear
one.
with. Bristol
1 and 3 draws.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
Yeah. 1-1, drawn 3, lost 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, if we're going on stats, that's kind of it was inevitable, wasn't it? With that one, poor Bristol. But considering last season in the Championship, I remember watching Bristol absolutely smash Sunderland, and I thought, yeah, they're gonna fight for it in the WSL. And to be fair, they have, haven't they? So they can't be disappointed in themselves at all. They've had that fight, it just hasn't been enough, unfortunately.
It just worries me that obviously we're going to talk about the Championship next. Obviously, but spoiler alert, Palace are going up. I would be worried now, like obviously with Palace coming up, is it just going to happen again? Like are Palace going to be that team where they're getting dicked every week? I said dinked there, by not dicked. Yeah, it would worry me that, like, if I was, and that's probably, I know we're probably going to get, it's probably why I'm slightly happier that Sunderland aren't going up this year, because I don't think I'd fancy getting hammered every week, but never mind. Well, it just shows the gulf in quality at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, and that difference between investment, how much the clubs want to do, facilities, the gap is so big, where all we're going to see now is clubs just yo-yoing. Yeah. And it's not fair, because hopefully with Newco coming in, I know we've all got big hopes for Newco. Well, hopefully they do something about it, or do like something in interim to kind of get them up to speed for the WSL. But yeah, at the minute it's just not working, is it? We've seen that, and we've seen what's happened to Reading as well. Obviously, we know that's loads of things out of their control. But yeah, to see a WSL team kind of where they are now, it's just, there needs to be more in place for these teams so they don't go crashing down. Absolutely. So speaking of the Championship, the place to be, isn't it? Where all the drama is and all the wonderful games going on. We'll start, and again, this comes back to Manchester City getting all the goals in. Most of them were 1-0, to be honest. but quite hard fought. And I believe we're going to myself first for this one because I realised I hadn't actually given anyone this game. So
It was meaningless, to be fair, the game.
well, that's the thing. So the first one, sorry, I didn't even introduce it. Blackburn 1, Watford 0. Now, Watford had already had confirmation that they were relegated. So again, it was points for themselves at this point. Could they get one? Carly Johns, to be fair, who's been quite a threat all season, she almost got the opener. And genuinely, with their first half, I really thought they could have taken something from it. But yeah, they just couldn't do it. Megan Hornby, though, chipped the keeper for the winner, which is brilliant. If you haven't seen it, please go back and do it. Secured the 3 points. Michelle Adjiman always looked dangerous, but again, just couldn't convert. Watford did have some late chances, though. They kind of came alive back in those 10-15 minutes, but they just couldn't do it, couldn't get the equaliser. And I just think at this point, even a point would have maybe given a bit more confidence, a bit more something. But yeah, unfortunately, just couldn't get away with it. And that's it, really. That's all that happened in that match. Next one.
Can I just shout out the assist for that Megan Hornby goal as well, by the way? I don't know if you saw.
Yes.
It's just, I think, was it Richards? Absolute have it moment of just like boom, up the up you go. Yeah, it was amazing assist. Hornby's on absolute fire though as well.
I think a big team will come for her, to be fair. I think she might find herself maybe up north somewhere in black and white stripes.
No, not black and white stripes. But yeah, I mean, there's some phenomenal names throughout the championship, isn't there? You just think, they need to be picked up and for their development, absolutely. But yeah, and we're coming to you next. Reading 1, Durham 0.
Yeah, always nice.
A red card in that one, wasn't it?
Well, there was. It was never a red card. And as much as I like to see Durham, fail massively, it was very, very harsh. Dee Bradley was the one who got sent off. It's just nothing. There's nothing really in it. Even when you see opposition players look as shocked as the team's players who the players been sent off, there's something wrong. And literally, I think it was just like a stunned silence when Bradley did get sent off. But to be fair to Durham, I have watched the highlights of this. I thought Durham were quite unlucky. I think, even though they haven't played very well at all this season, they do seem to be a little bit unlucky. They kind of got this red card, but they still pressed on and still tried to get a couple of goals. Beth Heppel had a really good effort saved. But then Reading, pretty much against the run of play, scored. And it kind of reminded us when I went to watch Sunderland down at Reading, and we got someone sent off in the first half. And in the second half, we were all over Reading, but Reading just found a way to score. So I think they played a perfect game against 10 players, to be honest. I think it was Stapleton who got the goal. It was a nice finish, to be fair. She takes it well. But that obviously saved Reading from any relegation trouble because that kept them up that 3 points. But also with Durham losing, and if Lewis were playing later on, we'll get into the Lewis game later on, they gave them a massive opportunity to stay up because Durham could have got dragged into it. But I think Durham just need the season to end. They need to regroup, get some new fresh blood in, probably get some younger players in, because the squad seems to be, I think the squad's probably the oldest in the league, and it's showing now, especially when you get to the back end of this season, and they have had a horrible year since January. They barely won a game. I think a lot of things will change at Durham. I think they'll probably get a new management team in. I think, like I said before, they need some new players. Otherwise, with we know who's coming up now. We've got Portsmouth and Newcastle coming up, and Newcastle are going to want to at least survive next season, and if not want to get promoted straight away, they might be after a couple of Durham players, and they can offer a little bit more than what Durham can. So they really, I would be worried if I was a Durham fan about next season. But yeah, they just need this season to end, regroup, and get back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, again, if we just have a quick look at Le Table, I mean, Durham in 10th on 20 points. I mean, we had them pegged at the beginning as kind of like mid-table, kind of quietly going about their business, kind of picking up a point there, here and there. But I don't think I saw them being in 10th. Did you, Ant?
No, I think it's a disaster. I think if you're a Durham fan or a Durham player or whatever, I think they would have looked at maybe, where Birmingham and Blackburn are 5th or 6th, and maybe spoiling a team's promotion hopes or something like that. But they've just conceded far too many goals this year, and they've been too easy to beat. And the problem is as well that Durham have always been this kind of tough tackling, hard to play against team. But teams are used to that now, and they haven't got a plan B. So when that doesn't work, they haven't really got anything else. Yeah. Matt's just asked there, probably Pritchard move being the issue. Yeah. Probably because they haven't got anyone as good as Poppy to replace Poppy. But they've got another winger in there, Lily Crossthwaite, who I think is a top quality footballer on the other side. So, for what they've lost in Poppy, they've got in Lily. But to be fair to Poppy, I mean, I know Poppy relatively well. She was a Sunderland RTC player, and I know her dad really well. That move, I think, has come a little bit as a shock of how early it's come for Poppy. So, obviously, she hasn't played for City yet. And I would imagine she'll go out on loan next year. But it has probably left Durham with a too big of a hole. And obviously, Jess Clark, she retired as well, didn't she? So, she plays for the Durham Sestrian. And even that, I think even that's a bit of a blow. But they've obviously lost Sarah Mack for the rest of the season. And they've had players out, but it's just not been good enough. Been a disastrous season.
Yeah, especially when it's players that provide that impact, and even like both on and off the pitch as well, kind of not having them around maybe could have been something to do with it. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, 1-0 there to Reading. Next up, another 1-0, funnily enough. So it was Birmingham City 1, Sheffield United 0. Now, Danny, Lily Agg got the difference here, didn't she?
She did. She does 6th goal of the season to settle this one. Amy Merrick's first game in charge of Birmingham since Darren Carter was shown the door by mutual consent. So I think she's signed a 3-year deal, Merrick's as well. So that's seen as a long-term plan for sure. And they've had a good go at it this season. They were in the pack. We thought they might be going into that final day, which we all had high hopes for a mad final day of about 5 teams going for the title, but it hasn't quite panned out like that. But yeah, they really started like a team under new management here. When a new manager comes in and everyone's just straight into the tackles. There was so much purpose to the play. The intent was there. And they got the goal they deserved. Libby Smith with a couple of chances early on, one of them hitting the bar. But then, like you say, Agg getting the goal that settled it. Really nice ball over from Rebecca Holloway as well for Agg to finish it off. Alanta Brown had a chance for Sheffield United. Lucy Thomas pushed that onto the bar. But apart from that, Birmingham deserved the win, I think, but just about saw the game out like they have done most of the season in their wins. They've never really been massively flashy or thrown in loads of goals. They just get the job done a lot of the time, and this is what they did here. I'm really, really interested to see now how they transition over the summer under Merrick's, because they have got obviously a plan with her to go for it and to keep at what they're doing. It's just that I wonder how they progress their style and change their style a bit over the summer. I don't see it changing too much till the end of the season. Obviously only got a couple of games before the end. So yeah, really, really interested to see how they change, if they change, what goes on there over the summer. Yeah,
and what she can bring. Is she going to bring any new blood in to maybe?
That's it. Yeah, she just had that spell with the England under 19s, didn't she? She had potentially contacts there, bringing some young players in maybe.
Yeah, and I think that might give them the burst, because we all thought Birmingham, didn't we, that they were going to give it a good run for the title, like you said, and then it kind of petered off a bit. So yeah, maybe if they had some kind of younger threats, younger legs, maybe kind of mix in there and give them that something extra.
Yeah, a little bit of like energy late in games and things like that, maybe too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
Really drill it home.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for that. See, we're getting excited for next season already. What's going on with that one? Good evening, Graham. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. Paul has asked, do you think the gap will narrow, though, with going back to Newco? It's only going to get wider unless they act. Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? If they actually do something about it, if it's on their agenda. If it's not, then yeah, that gap's going to keep continuing. But I think, I don't know, should you just focus on the league you're in, maybe, and championship teams going, right, okay, what do we need to kind of grow within where we need to be at the moment? Or should they have that long-term plan? I don't know if anyone's got any thoughts on that.
I think you've got to have, I think every championship team's probably aspiration is to get promoted, isn't it? At the end of the day,
Mm.
Especially you look at the league there. You got ourselves, you got Birmingham, Durham, Southampton, who are all good sides. Obviously Palace and Charlton as well. They're all cracking sides who want to. Who I think they would want to say that their places in the WSL, especially Sunderland. I mean, you look at the history of what we've got.
Yeah.
I think obviously we have a plan to get out of this division, and hopefully the plan is to get out and stay out. But you look at Bristol, and as you mentioned before, Bristol last year were comfortably the best side in the Championship and have amassed 6 points. It's scary, to be fair, and I keep mentioning we've had a cracking season, but the times we played WSL sides, one was in the Conti Cup, we got beat 8-0 at Villa, and the other one's in the Conti Cup, and we got, was it 7-0 against Chelsea? I think it was 7.
I think 7, yeah.
I think it was 7-0, and so that's like a 15-0 deficit, already, and obviously we would have had different players and everything like that, but that's the worrying thing, that whoever goes up, and obviously Palace are pretty much there. Are they the favourites immediately to come back down? Probably. And, if it's a gap like what Bristol have got, you cannot say to me that Bristol have enjoyed the season, only amassing 6 points. It's nice to come and, have a little tour of the WSL, but ultimately you want to win games. That's what, to kind of build, to build a fan base, to build, what we all want. We want, more crowds to come. Take it from me. I don't think people will come if your team's getting hammered every week.
Yeah, because there's supporting your team in and out, isn't there? But there's kind of, you would then start to feel that kind of deflation as well.
Yeah.
But as long as kind of your players are fighting each week, I think the true fans are good ones. They'll keep turning up. But yeah, you're right. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Because you just can't see a way out of the rut. So fingers crossed, there will be something with Newcastle that will come in to kind of stop that massive gap between the two leagues. So speaking of some of those teams, then, and I think we're coming back to you. Lewis 0, Crystal Palace 2. Gutted for Lewis. Absolutely gutted.
It was 5-0, not 7, by the way. I am sorry, David. I couldn't remember.
Oh, right. There we go. We told you we need people in the chat to keep us right.
Exactly. A sad day for Lewis, because they're out now, aren't they? And they had to win. It would have been nice for them as well, because obviously we needed them to do us a favour by beating Palace and hopefully taking the last game of the season. But to be fair to Palace, and like I say, they're not promoted yet, but it needs like a 23-goal swing, I think, on Sunday, which is not going to happen. I think Palace have been a superb side this year, and I know quite a lot of Palace fans off the Eagle Eye pod and everything like that, and they're good lads. So I'm really chuffed for them, and they've got a great side, and they've beaten Durham, like 9-2, 9-1 or something this season. They've scored absolutely loads of goals. I'm just gutted for Lewis, because it's a great, club, great people, and the bother is I can't see them coming back, especially not next season, when you're looking at they're going to go into the National South. You've got hashtag already there. You're probably going to see his favourites. And I just, as much as I'd love to see them come back and everything like that, and I just can't see it. I really can't. And, Maggie Murphy's leaving. The manager's leaving at the end of the season as well. It's a massive, transformation for Lewis. And like I say, it's a pity. I would have loved to have gone down, next year. That was I was always going to say, if had we, not gone up, which is, going to happen now, I would have loved to have gotten the dripping pan. That's obviously not going to happen. So obviously the podcast's favourite team, aren't they? So we're just a little bit sad, aren't we? I think everyone's just got a collective little bit of sadness. But on the game, really, I think, if anyone hasn't seen Sinead Hopcroft's goal, if you're going to get promoted, you do it like that. Absolutely banging strike. A really, really good goal. And Molly Sharp at the end as well. And Molly Sharp normally keeps her goals for the northern teams, being from Leeds. But she normally scores against us. She normally scores against Durham. She got what turned out to be the second goal, and the promotion party started there early, and then obviously coupled with us losing to Charlton, that's pretty much it. like I said, 23 goal swing. I don't think that's going to happen, Graham, even though, I know Graham's a Charlton fan, so I don't think that's going to happen, but fair play to them. That I always say, the best team in the league wins the league, doesn't it? And Crystal Palace, I think, consistently this season have been the best side, so fair play to them. Hopefully we can go down there on Sunday and kind of, spoil the promotion party a little bit. But no, fully deserved champions, so fair play to them. But yeah, sad for Lewis as much as anything else. I think I'm more sad that Lewis lost than what we did on Sunday. I was proper gutted for them. But hopefully they come back. I just can't see it, Freya, to be honest. Can't see it, especially immediately.
Yeah, it might take them a bit of time to kind of regroup. Kind of come back fighting and stronger, absolutely. And Matt's just said there, fair play to Lewis, 10 years in the championship and made some great memories along the way. Absolutely. They'll always be podcast favourites. We'll still keep an eye on them every week. We'll keep everyone updates, don't worry.
Are we going to go from what we're doing at the Thursday night and Laura is better?
Let's keep going,
let's get the northern and southern leagues on. So national north and national south.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Lewis, we are
for hours.
We'll just keep a constant stream of just all the pods. We go through every league, every match with that one. Oh, brilliant. Okay, right. Next up, we've got, there's actually some goals in this one. Rosie, you're going to talk us through Southampton 3, London City 1. Now, did Southampton walk it as much as it looked like it, or did London City have a bit of fight about them in this one, do you think?
So Southampton showed intent from the beginning. They had a really good early chance, just didn't make it, but you could see right off the bat they wanted to score. Obviously they need goals, they needed the points. It showed the intent there. The first goal, I can't tell if it was either a really good cross or a really poor clearance. Either way, Molly Pike took her chance and scored it. It was great. And then you could see sort of a few moments where you thought maybe London City could get it back here. There was a goal from Emma Thompson that made it 2-0. And then you think, yeah, okay, this is probably done. But then it's kind of it wasn't really back and forth, but Paige Peake had a brilliant chance, went off the woodwork, but you thought she needed to make that because that would have been 3-0 right there. Then London City did manage to get one back to make it 2-1. And you thought, yeah, maybe that could work. Maybe they get another one. It was straight away. They grabbed the ball from the net. They were not wasting any time. I mean, it was a late goal. It was 72 minutes. So you thought, yeah, they need to get on with this. But then, yeah, Rihanna Jean crushed it, made it 3-1. And then it was done. So it's kind of they had a little bit of fight in there. You could see when they scored that goal, they were desperate to get another one. I mean, as you would be when you're 2-1, you want the ball straight away. You just want to get back playing. They did have a few chances, but Southampton smashed it there.
And that's the thing, because with Southampton again being one of those teams that we thought, oh, maybe could they be fighting for it right till the end? But yeah, Southampton just showed they're just too good, didn't they? Too dominant. But the fact that London City Lionesses have come back since Remy Allen took over, and just that complete change of pace, just energy, just change of everything, tactics a lot. Because I think maybe at the beginning of the season, maybe they wouldn't have even got one on there. So the fact that they're starting to take their chances, they're starting to push, they're starting to create their identity. I really hope Remy stays, to be fair, because she's doing some bloody good work at London City. Yeah, absolutely has. Graham has just said there, and I don't need to win Sunday, Ant, sorry, as I'd hate for us not to be promoted on goal difference. Yeah. Could you imagine that it came down to it and you're like, yes, we've done it. Oh, no, we haven't. But yeah.
I used to like Graham.
Don't talk to me about last day of the season goal difference, please. We move on.
Flashbacks, Danny. Bristol Rovers, isn't it?
Yeah. And we finally come on to... Oh, no, I'm sorry, Ant. Sunderland 0, Charlton 1. Now, you were there. So kind of take us through. And again, it wasn't live on FA Player. I think there's only one match on on Sunday. So kind of living through Twitter updates to try and see what was going on. But yeah, the groan kind of told us everything, but how was it?
Yeah, it was, to be honest, I don't think we played very well, to be fair. I think the pressure of the situation got to us a little bit. If you bear in mind, obviously, where we were this time last season, we finished second bottom. We would have been relegated last year if the rules had gone into play last year. And I think I think it was just a little lack of experience of not having players to our disposal who have been through a big promotion push, whereas Charlton are obviously over there and thereabouts the last couple of years, and Charlton played the situation brilliantly. To be fair, I thought they were excellent. We just didn't show up really. I think it was just a little bit of naivety, a little bit of yeah, I am as well, actually, yeah, but just a little bit of, maybe trying to do things too quickly, if you know what I mean by that, and it just wasn't working. And Charlton just eventually just took over, especially in the first half. Last 10 minutes, had a few really good chances, and our goalkeeper Claudia Moore, who has, as always, this season's been absolutely superb, made 2 cracking saves. And then obviously in the second half, we were actually going through our best passage of the game. We really were. We were playing well. We were not really creating much, but we were forcing a couple of corners. We were getting on top a little bit, and then we try and play out from the back, and Brianna Westrup gives the ball away, and Charlton going on the rebound, because Claudia's made another good save on the rebound that they put the ball in the back of the net. And then from then, when you're getting beat 1-0, you know that you've got to score twice to keep it up. We huffed and we puffed, and to quote Mike Skinner, we pushed, but we just couldn't.
Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner with the
Skinner.
streets.
Not him.
I thought you were going to break into song for a minute.
Oh yeah, cry your eyes, me. Sorry. You can see where my head's at this week, can't you? But to quote that, we pushed, but we just, we made the subs, bring Katie Watson on, and yeah, just didn't quite happen for us. We couldn't get the ball in, and they probably had the better opportunities in stoppage time. There was 12 minutes stoppage time, which shows what Charlton were doing in the game to slow it down and everything like that. And there was a lot of stoppages as well. A couple of head injuries and this, that, and the other. 12 minutes to stoppage time. We thought we've still got a chance. We see what we saw happen against Lewis. When Jenna D, scored twice in a minute. You never give up. But yeah, they had another chance. Claudia's made for me a world-class save to tip around the post. And then full time. Quite sad scenes. When you're seeing players who've put the blood, sweat, and tears for so many games this year in tears and crying and stuff. It was hard for us, I think, as fans. It was really hard for me, and I went over to Tash Fenton, because Tash Fenton was over the other side. And I said, look, at the end of the day, because she was upset, I was like, let's not have any tears from where we were last year to where we are now. You want to be so damn proud of yourselves. And, and that really is just the end of the day. Yeah, it hurts. And this week's going to hurt. And probably seeing Palace lift the trophy and stuff, that's going to hurt. But from where we are, from where we were to where we are now, I really think, next year the sky's the limit, to be honest. And I think people will start, taking us seriously. I think a lot of people had us on to go down this year, and then next season, I think we're going to be one of the top sides and one of the ones going for promotion. So, it just needs a couple of tweaks. I think, needs a little bit, maybe an out and out centre forward, to help Scarzy out, and we obviously with Grace McCarthy retiring, and I just want to quickly wish Grace McCarthy all the best in whatever she does next, because she's been an absolute stalwart for us and an absolute legend. She's done everything, so fair play to her. But we obviously need another centre half, and then we'll see where we go. And obviously as well, our under 23s play tomorrow night against Stockton. Norton and Stockton Ancients in the County Cup final. I'm going to be going to that, and I just want to wish them all the best as well. So yeah, gutted but proud, more proud than gutted, I think. But yeah, just need to get this week out of the way, and get rid of football for a few weeks, and then we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
They're getting excited for the next season, but you're right, especially after where they finished last season. It could have been easy, like you said. Oh yeah, well, they did poorly last season. Let's, they're probably going to be down the end. Yeah. But the fact that they've done so well, and it's keeping that consistency, isn't it? And keeping up and around those top spots. And like we've said before, even if they weren't maybe ready for it yet and maybe kind of where they are, they've shown that they can compete at that top level of the championship at least.
Yeah.
So then to keep that going, and then when they're ready, they're there, they're in and around it to keep pushing.
Yeah, and I think that what would have happened had we gone up, you're looking at, a lot of surgery had to go into that side, a lot of surgery. Because as I mentioned before, we lost to Villa, and Chelsea, by, big scores to 0. Had we had done it, there's a lot of players to bring in and possibly let go, and whereas now you're looking at maybe I think a couple will leave. Don't get us wrong, but especially the group that they've got, and they were at the awards night last night. I got talking to a couple of them, and the reasons why they were giving us the reasons why they came to the club and why they're going to want to stay on, because they're just a really close-knit group of people, and they all get on really well. And you can see that on the pitch, that's why we've got where we are, just their resilience. And, to still have that squad next year with a couple of tweaks, I think is probably better than having to really have to do reconstructive surgery really to the team, and then maybe going down with 6 points out what Bristol City have done. So, once the pain goes away, I think you're going to be looking at it probably was too early for us this season. And maybe next season's a little bit too early, but the players that we've got coming in, the young players that we've got who are ready to step up, the sky is the limit, really. And I'm just, like I said before, I'm just so proud of this football club, so proud of this team. And I'm so proud of all the fans who came on Sunday, 1,300 fans who were just mint.
Yeah.
And so, what a season. I'm just honoured to support this football club. I really am.
Oh, but it is, that's the truth of it, isn't it? And it's just wanting, like, you can see the ethos straight away. And I think when you look at a club and you can tell what the players, how they feel about each other, what they're fighting for, and what they're doing, it's like, yeah, okay, I can get behind you now. Like, I can see what it's all about, and that's why the fans keep turning up, don't they?
That's it, yeah. And we've got 2 derbies to look forward to now next season, so that might be an easy 12 points. But yeah, can't wait already, to be honest, Freya. And like I said before, just so proud of them. So fingers crossed, the majority of them do stay. I really do hope that, like I said, I'm expecting a couple to go, but I really hope that the nucleus of the team, the likes of Jenna Diaz, Katie Kitchens, do stay, and we don't get teams from high, because I think a couple of teams from high will look at, especially Claudia Moore, and think really need a goalkeeper. The season that she's had with 9 clean sheets, they might look at that, but I really hope if we can manage to keep the majority of that squad, I think we're in a good place. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and just seconding that, shout out for Claudia Moore, because that would have been a much higher scoreline if she was on the game. Oh, she was unbelievable. She was. Yeah, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Chloe's just put, someone needs to edit Mark Skinner talking over the street. Right.
I feel like Paul's going to be on that straight away.
Sam.
I think it's because I'm going to see the street at Isle of Wight Festival. I think I had that in my head.
Special guest appearance from Mark Skinner.
Imagine if he came on stage, be like, why? Why is he here? But yeah, just circling back slightly, John's put there, FA play didn't work at the weekend. I didn't actually get a chance to watch Arsenal because it wasn't working on the website either until like 40 minutes, which was mad, which is pretty bad. So hopefully, again, you Cole, pin this on you. FA player, hopefully it's a great tool for what it is when it works. And it's great when it works. But yeah, I think we deserve kind of more than one championship game being streamed live. Because that makes no sense. And there's only ever, 2 or 3 WSL games as well, if you're lucky. So yeah, hopefully there's a plan to expand that, because I don't know if it's rights or what, but yeah, it needs to improve, doesn't it? With the game's growing, and you need a service that supports the growing women's game. And that's,
look at the NWSL app as well, the NWSL Plus app I've been using. It's got pretty much the full replays of every game. It's got games live. Most of the games are on there. I don't know if it's the same in America as it is here, but we pretty much get every game on there. It's so accessible. It's yeah, it does need updating for sure. Because look at what things like that have done to the game there, just to make it a bit more accessible and things. Because that's a switch to Facebook, I think it was for Palace, Lewis Palace, and thankfully they moved it somewhere else. But yeah, I thought it was just my laptop playing up, but yeah, it's seems like it's a whole problem. So definitely something that needs to be looked at.
Definitely, absolutely. And then did we have a little look at the table? So as it stands, we officially know now Lewis and Watford are relegated to the Southern Premier Division. And we've got Crystal Palace looking like they are definitely going to be promoted, unless, as we said earlier, something mad happens next weekend. But yeah, Charlton in second on 42, Sunderland third, 40 points, Southampton 39, Birmingham 36. So again, even between the top 5 teams, 9 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Look how excited we were, though, about 6 weeks ago. We had about a point between 6 teams, and now it's done a week before the season ends. Damn you, Crystal Palace.
How dare you get the win? No.
Yeah, and to be fair, I couldn't go on Sunday, so in a way I am quite happy. But never mind.
The season's finished for me. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm done.
Brilliant. Now that has come to the end of our WSL and Championship results, but we still have a few talking points. So thank you to everyone watching. So over 200 people watching now, which is incredible. Thank you very much for joining us. So yeah, keep joining in with our chat because we've got some good talking points and a bit of a rant upcoming, to be honest. Now, first things first. I think it was one of our Chloe's put in the chat earlier, didn't she? That we have a new head of women's football at the FA. Now, I got a little bit of a chance to read this. Does anyone have a quick look at the article or know anything about it?
I haven't, I'm afraid. No, I'm probably not the best to answer this question.
I just want to know if anyone had any thoughts. Because we've got Sue Day, who's an MBE, and she's been appointed the new director of women's football, and she will take up her role in December, replacing the outgoing Baroness Campbell, who joined in 2016 and has done a lot for the women's game. Now, Day joins from the Rugby Football Union, where she's been board member, chief operations officer, and chief financial officer as well. She's a former England Rugby Union captain, having won 59 caps for her country, and in 2020 was made an MBE for services to gender equality in sport. And she's said, women's football has the opportunity to change the sporting and societal landscape forever. And I'm passionate about making sure future generations have the equal opportunities that weren't afforded to so many girls like me. So just from that little snapshot, do we think good appointment there? Sounds promising, doesn't it?
Definitely does. Yeah, I think she played quite a key role in bringing the Rugby World Cup here as well, didn't she? So something like that would be nice as well. Bring it home.
Yeah.
I know that's probably not her remit, but I'm adding to it. I'm adding to the remit already. First bit of paper on her desk.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it as well, how like rugby's came along in the last few years, especially the women's rugby. The standard of women's rugby is pretty good, to be fair. And you look at the England's rugby side are pretty much, steamrolling their way into I think it's the Six Nations in the women's as well as it is in the men's. So, she's had a lot to do with that. So, that could be good for the FA and for the England national side as well. So, yeah, fair play to her. Yeah,
really look forward to it. So congratulations, Sue. Welcome to the footballing world. And yeah, can't wait to see what change she brings, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it is all good and positive and moves forward for girls and women throughout society. So yeah, good. Congratulations to her. Okay, next thing we want to talk about, Champions League semi-finals. First leg was last week. Now, we will get on to Chelsea-Barcelona. However, I was quite excited by Lyon PSG. I thought that was the more entertaining of the two. Sorry, Rosie. But
Rosie disagrees with that statement.
I apologise, it was fun. But only because PSG were leading 2-0 until the 80th minute. And then in 6 minutes, Lyon scored 3 times to win 3-2, which was just mad. Did anyone else manage to catch this one? Because it was incredible.
I was keeping an eye on it. I think I tuned in when PSG were 2-0 up, and I thought, how are they 2-0 up? And then I sort of looked over again. Oh, it's 2-1. Oh, it's 2-2. Oh yeah, Leon won. It was quick.
It was one of those where like momentum, you see it change sort of with a blink of an eye, don't you? And it just goes, and you just think they're going to come back, they're going to do it just because you can see the momentum come in. You like Leon were just really growing in the confidence during that second half, and once they got that first one, PSG just looked knackered. I think they're probably quite thankful there wasn't any more time left for them to get any more goals. Because they'll still fancy their chances in the second leg. It's just that little bit of the momentum about how that first leg ended. You feel like Leon will hold on to it now. Yeah,
and kind of going into that second leg being like, if that's what we can do in 6 minutes, what can we do in the 90? But yeah, the change of momentum was incredible. And you were kind of sitting, I was watching it, and I was like, oh, one's gone in. And I think Georgie was in the kitchen. She was like, are you watching a replay? I was like, no, a second and the third have all gone in. 3 different goals, 3 different scores. But yeah, it was phenomenal. 3-2. If you haven't watched the highlights of that one, please do. It was brilliant. But now we will talk about this one. Not going to lie, due to it being Barcelona and Chelsea, I had no money on Barcelona, to be fair, because Barcelona. But Chelsea did some Chelsea things, didn't they? Rosie, how happy are you that they are currently beating Barcelona 1-0?
I'm buzzing. I went into it. I'm a very optimistic person. So I thought, yeah, maybe we can draw it. Might be able to get one, but it was pushing it. Yeah, when Aaron Cuthbert, oh my goodness. I mean, it had to be Aaron Cuthbert. And the assist. Oh, I was running around the living room. I was absolutely buzzing. I think just going into the second leg being at Stamford Bridge is going to give them so much of a boost, because I think last year the second leg was away, and they kind of struggled with that. They managed to draw it, but it was kind of like in the quarterfinal against Lyon, being at home just gave them that extra little push that they needed. And I hope that that's what's going to happen on Saturday. And I'm so excited. And if you have not got your tickets, please get them. Because it's going to be such a good game. I'll be there in my third kit, hoping for another Aaron Cuthbert banger. But I'll gladly take a draw, because already up. Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's going to be phenomenal. And Barca can either go one of 2 ways, can't they? They can either go, oh crap, Chelsea kind of, what can we do? Or they can go, how dare they beat us? Let's go and show them, which we've seen them do time and time again. But they were playing tonight, actually, and they did go 2-0 down to Levante Las Planas. But they did come back and win 4-2. Come back and win 4-2. So
they wanted to test themselves, clearly, to come back.
Yeah.
Well, it's convenient that their really good players were unavailable. I wonder why that is.
I knew that. Do you remember the panic though? Chelsea versus Villa. Everyone was like, "Where's Alger? Where's she gone?" We're like, "She's resting for Champions League."
Hayes lies a lot. Like,
well, she was looking at our stars again, wasn't she? She was trying to,
She wasn't reciting poetry again, was she?
I was going to say,
Oh, no, I'm ready for another one from Emma, to be honest.
That's just unbelievable to go there and win, though, isn't it, as well?
I know. It was the last time that Barcelona have lost at home in 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's insane. Chelsea have never beaten them in the history. So even if, whatever happens in the second leg, they've made history. Yeah. And it was just an insane match. So they should be unbelievably proud of themselves.
No, they've not lost at all since May, have they? Barcelona either.
I don't think so.
So it's, mad result.
Yeah. And just and to even knock Barcelona's confidence is something in itself. So
it's difficult when you go and do pull off these massive results and you've still got another game to go, though, isn't it? It's so difficult to kind of replicate it again, and it's going to be a completely different game. Like Chelsea, Erin Cuthbert basically, she epitomised everything about that Chelsea performance, didn't she? That's what it was all about. It was so tight. They got players behind the ball. They really dug it out. It's a very sort of un-Emma Hayes-like performance almost. But she's come up with such a like mad plan to go there and get a result, and not just to go and sit back on it as well and go and like they could have got a second. I think Barcelona took until the 85th minute to have a shot on target, which like in itself to go to Barcelona and do that is insane. So, yeah. So I really hope there will be a cracking atmosphere at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, and I really, really hope you get the job done, because that'd be just a beautiful way to end Emma Hayes' Chelsea time with a final in itself, and to overcome Barcelona finally would be huge.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else goes to plan, what a send off if you knock Barcelona out of the Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to another podcast last week as well, actually, just reading some stuff and just saying that Emma Hayes doesn't, like, there's this big narrative about her needing this Champions League and needing to win the league to go off on a high and stuff, but I don't think she does. Like, she's built up so much over the years. It'll just be great for her to have it, but what she's done for Chelsea and for football in general, I don't think she needs it. It'll just be the icing on a nice cake on it.
And that's the thing, she's done so much to be proud of. It's just something extra. It's not a requirement for it. Yeah, absolutely. So that is on Saturday, everyone. Next leg of second leg. Saturday at Saturday the 27th at 5:30 at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea Barcelona, and Sunday the 28th at 3:00 is PSG versus Lyon. And then we'll find out who's going to be in the final, which is incredible. So, quick prediction then. So we know Rosie's going to say Chelsea. Who else do we all think? Barcelona, Chelsea, Lyon, PSG. Who's going to be the two that go into that final? Whoever wants to jump in first.
I think Chelsea and Lyon. I think it's going to be a draw on Saturday for Chelsea, which will get them through. Obviously, it's going to be so nervy, isn't it? But I don't envy Chelsea fans at all. Sorry, Rosie, and all Chelsea fans, but it's going to be one of them. But I think the crowd will get them over the line, if anything. I think Lyon will get the job done against PSG as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Rosie, who are you hoping for to face off?
Chelsea, Lyon. I think obviously Sonia von Pasta is more than likely to be our next manager. So
that's going to be face off between the old and the new. Yeah, apparently. Allegedly. Ant, any thoughts? Who would you like?
I think Lyon definitely, yeah, and just based on the fact that Chelsea's third kit is absolutely superb, I'm going to go Chelsea. I think it'll be a draw because I think Barca will score. I think it'll be one of the ones where Barca probably score early and then Chelsea, pull it out the fire somewhat in the second half. So fingers crossed. I really hope they do get in the final, to be fair.
Yeah, I hope so. Be good. And finally, again, another English team getting to a final. That's exactly. Kind of what we should be focused on, isn't it? Kind of that English team. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was something that happened. Was it yesterday? It's all been a blur. And I got a bit of hate for the first time online. I'm not quite used to that, to be honest. So it turned out that for the Everton-Arsenal match on Sunday, a lot of Arsenal fans have bought tickets, home tickets, and it's completely sold out. So what Everton have done, there was an email sent out that said, we've checked everyone's information who've bought tickets. And if you have no history of buying with Everton before, or you live in a non-local postcode, we are suspicious that you are an away supporter, buying in the home end, and you've had your tickets cancelled, essentially. So hundreds of people got this email, including me. Just wanted to have a chat, kind of how you guys feel about it, because I know I have some feelings. But do you think within women's football, because obviously Walton Hall Park is quite small, it doesn't have a proper away end. It's just kind of go stand over there by that goal. But women's football has always kind of been mixed, hasn't it? And yes, it's lovely if you can have an away section or like a group of you that kind of sing together. But there's never really been that many issues. And I can understand where Everton are coming from, that home tickets for the home fans. I 100% get that. But if you're living in another part of the country as an Everton fan, or you're a neutral and maybe you thought, oh, that'll be a good one to go to for your first ever time, it's then penalising you as well. So, Danny, did you have any thoughts when you heard the news? Kind of.
Yeah, I felt so sorry for you and everyone else this had happened to, because we're supposed to be growing the game, aren't we? We're supposed to be making it accessible to anyone. We're supposed to be, seeing WSL clubs being supported by people across the country. It would have happened before. It's just, it's just not okay. I think they've got to come up with some other system in place, because they've got to realise that people don't just support the team from the like whatever radius it is around the stadium. You've got to understand that, especially as the fact that it's growing. So there's got to be something to be done about it. I'm not sure if it's something again that we can throw on Nuco's desk and stuff, but horrible for a load of fans to suddenly get that email with, and there's no going back on it. That's the thing. There's no way of kind of challenging it or anything. It's just like, boom, that's it. You're not going, and that's not good at all.
Reckon I would get in.
Hey.
Just goes to show how stupid it is, isn't it? That is a Sunderland fan has an Everton top.
Yes,
I like the kits.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, and it's so. Essentially, if no one saw it, it kind of blew up. So I tweeted, just said, and I thought I was quite polite, to be honest. I wasn't, and I just kind of said, you know what, I'm coming to see my friends who are Everton supporters. I'm a massive Martina Piemonte fan. Yes, champion Villa, I champion Sunderland. Like, it's possible to champion more than one team and more than one player. So I was really looking forward to this. Bought them as soon as the tickets came out in March, I think it was. Really looking forward to this day, with 5 days to go. It's really disappointing that I've been classed as an away supporter trying to hide myself in the home end, when really I was a home supporter / neutral, if you want, because of what it means to me personally. But apparently, someone went through my Twitter feed 2 years they went back to when I got my Lena Hurtig shirt. And again, anyone who's listened to me talk before will know I've followed Lena Hurtig for years. So when she signed from Juventus, I bought a Hurtig Arsenal shirt, again, supporting the player. Got it signed, met her, it was great. But again, showing that support. And apparently because that exists, that means I'm, disingenuous, I'm lying, and I was going to wear it to the match. I was like, it literally says in the picture, November 2022. What are you on? Like, it doesn't make any sense. 2 years they scrolled through to find it. And it's like, but I've never hid the fact I'm a Hurtig fan. And in fact, to all those people who told me I can't wear more than one shirt, I have 5 different shirts behind me of about the 30 that I own. Rosie, when that story kind of broke, what did you think about it?
It's just, especially when you organise travel, isn't it? It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one solution to this is what they do at men's games, which is if you're wearing an away shirt, you can't come in the home end, and that's it. And you make that really clear from the get-go when you're buying tickets. Do not buy tickets in the home end if you're an away supporter, because you won't get let in.
Yeah.
And then I understand that maybe not everyone owns a shirt. Maybe throughout the match they're chanting for the wrong team, but like, it's just, you can't cancel everyone's tickets because that's not the right solution.
No.
Maybe there isn't really a right solution, but that's not it. And I get that Arsenal fans are very maybe the most difficult of women's football fans to deal with. If that's putting it nicely. But and I know that a lot of them will have tried to get into that home end, but you make it very clear you will not get let in if you're an away fan home end. And I think that is the only thing that we can really do.
Yeah, and it's enforcing those rules, isn't it? Because, the majority of stadiums we go to in the women's game are quite small. The stewards are quite laid back, aren't they? It's quite like a nice, relaxed kind of atmosphere. And as far as I'm aware, on the Everton page, when you book the tickets, it just said, do you want 2 tickets or however many you want? Right, pay. There was no, don't wear away colours in the home end. It wasn't, do not buy these tickets if you're an away supporter. It was just, here's some tickets. You've got to sign up with an account, but as long as you've got an account, you can buy them. So that was never specified, and I've seen lots of genuine supporters who thought it was okay to do that. Go, okay, well, I've booked ferry tickets. I'm coming over from Ireland. Yeah. Like, so all of these things, and you just think, I get it. That again, like we said, home tickets for the home fans first. Yeah, absolutely fine. Completely get that. But apparently some of the Everton supporters were saying they've had issues with security in the past and kind of agitated fans and stuff. Completely get it. But again, can you tar all fans with the same brush? No. So then that's just increased security, more stewarding, that kind of thing, to kind of make it the good banterous atmosphere that we've come to know, isn't it? And kind of what were you thinking about this when you heard it?
I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, to be totally honest with you. And the fact that, you know, they've cancelled. I mean, did you say they've cancelled everyone who doesn't live in the local postcodes tickets?
Yeah, so I'll get the email up. Hang on.
It's also just annoying if you are an Everton fan that's travelled from somewhere.
Exactly, yeah. Not all Everton fans will live in Liverpool, will they? You know what I mean? People move, don't they? You know what I mean? It's you
train tickets to see your team, and tickets are cancelled.
I mean, if this had happened, at Sunderland, you know, kind of thing, you know, like if you didn't live in an SR postcode, I live in a DH postcode, which is 20 miles away. But I live in a different postcode, SR. So would that mean I would get banned? And I've been going to Sunderland for, you know, nearly 30 years of my life. You know what I mean? So
somebody would find this clip, Ant, and just see you in an Everton shirt and just be like, "Look, see, you wore an Everton shirt on the team."
Yeah, just because he was making a point. Yeah. But like I say, I mean, it's especially like regarding the hate you got for it. I mean, I was really, you know, upset about it yesterday, I must admit, you know, because we've seen it, you know, God knows how many times with people on this podcast. And, you know, you made a very valid point. Then you got people like going, well, you're not the only Piemonte fan, blah, 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 and all this crap. And
yeah, like, well, when someone, right.
What you were.
Oh. That's the thing. I put a picture of me holding my Piemonte shirt at Walton Hall Park to be like, I'm not just saying, oh, I can't believe I've done my tickets. I'm like, I'm a genuine, like, this is me physically in that space. And then, yeah, someone retweeted it going, you're not the only Piemonte fan. Good. I hope not. She's brilliant. Like, that's not the point. But yeah, so there are trolls, and Graham's absolutely right. If someone's actually time trolling back, then it shows how ludicrous it is. Absolutely. But yeah, people just want a fight, don't they, on Twitter? And I was like, what are you doing? This is not the point. This is completely different what I was doing.
Like, people scrolling back 2 years to your Twitter, but they're not going on Twitter and tagging Everton, saying, hey, this isn't okay.
Yeah, you missed the point.
Liking tweets that are criticising you and not liking your tweet, saying, hey, actually.
Oh, because I'm a liar. I'm a hidden Arsenal fan. How dare it? If I support, like, I will champion any player that impresses me. And you can't say for 1 minute that Arsenal aren't a good team. They are, and you can watch them and you can enjoy it. That's fine. You can enjoy another team. Like, it's this blinkered mentality of, no, if you support a club, it is one club and only one club, and you cannot look at another club. And I was talking to one of my Arsenal supporter friends, actually, and she said, if someone, you know, said to me, he's an Aitana Barcelona shirt, you go, yes, please. Yes, thank you.
That's it. I mean, I collect them. You know what I mean? I've got a mass collection in my drawer. That's why it took us a while to dig this out. To be fair, I didn't realize I had it, and it doesn't fit, which is even worse. But I mean, I've got, you know, over 100 tops in there. You know what I mean? From, you know, France, Italy, England. You know, different divisions, Premier League, down to the Conference North. You know what I mean? I collect them. So, you know, just because I wear them doesn't mean I support said football club. You know what I mean? I don't really care about the majority of them. It's just some of the tops are nice.
Exactly. And for me personally, like, each top, I've got a memory with that top, and it means something. So that's, again, like, I collect them, and it reminds us of why I got it, and, you know, who the player is, and like kind of where they've come from and that kind of thing. So yeah, to have people kind of come at you for nothing was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? But yeah, so the email. Dear supporter, we are writing to you in relation to our upcoming Barclays Women's Super League fixture against Arsenal, Sunday 20th April. As part of our ticketing checks ahead of this game, we have investigated whether there are potential away supporters who have purchased home tickets. To do this, we have looked at accounts without any kind of previous purchase history with Everton Football Club and a non-local home address. With this information, we have identified your account has fallen into a category which suggests that you are an away supporter. As a result of this, your tickets have been cancelled and all monies have been refunded back to your card. Please allow up to 5 working days. So you read that and you go...
Well, at least you're getting refunded, I suppose, but still.
That's true. They could have just said, stuff you. But yeah, so that was... I went through a lot of emotions yesterday. Devastation, heartbreak, anger. And just keep it went round in a circle, to be honest. And then Twitter kicked off, so I was like, no, enough internet. Enough internet for today. Yeah, not worth it. But yeah, I do have some lovely friends at the Everton Supporters Association who are trying to sort something out for me. So nice. I might still get to go because I was going to meet our Chloe Bear there. And we were going to have a lovely day out in Everton. So yeah, so fingers crossed I still get a chance because there are lovely footballing people about. And you are 3 of them. So thank you very much. But yeah, so I think that brings us to the end. Did anyone else have any other talking points before we go? Or are we good?
No, all done.
Just to shout out the Northampton Town women for winning the County Cup against the Blue Lot from down the road. Winning, obviously, it's going to be a local derby in the County Cup, but it's always nice to beat your main local rivals in the cup final. So shout out to them, 3-1 win. So brilliant stuff.
Well, hey, very well done indeed. And yeah, Graham will be the last comment we have tonight. Here's me thinking what Nottingham Forest was the craziest thing I'd seen this week. Everton said, hold my beer. Yes, absolutely. That's for a different podcast, but yeah, that was mad. That was absolutely mental. If you did say that one. So we will bring this to an end. Thank you so much to everyone who's been in the chat, who's watched, who said hello, who's interacted. We really appreciate it. We really do. So thank you very much to you, lovely 3, for joining me. And thank you very much. If people want to see more of you, where can they find you?
Hang on, because Becca did this brilliantly a few weeks ago. Just there. It's _Watson on Twitter, and then at HowWeArePod if you want to catch up with us about some women's, latest stuff. And obviously, to echo what Danny said, well done and all that. Good luck to Chelsea on Saturday, and good luck to Sunderland women under 23s tomorrow night. So thank you.
There we go. Thank you very much. And Danny, thank you very much. If people want to see more of you, where can they find you?
It's there.
It's hard, isn't it, Danny?
It's so hard.
How
did they used to do it on the X Factor when they did?
Rebecca did it so well like a few weeks ago.
I'm just like my fingers, just like I can't do it. At Danny Brothers on Twitter. Our podcast is at Cobblers to Me. We talk all things Northampton Town men and women every week. For that.
Perfect. Thank you. And Rosie, thank you very much. As always, where can people find you if you want them to?
Firstly, you can find me at Stamford Bridge on Saturday.
Come on.
Tickets. You can also find me Rosie Dawson 144 on Twitter and rosiedawson.14 on Instagram and TikTok.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Matt, yes, thank you very much. Look for me in my ticket search. Yeah, thank you. If you do want to see more of me, but no abuse, please, you can find me at TFreyaTWrites on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can find me. Or if you want more Villa / other football stuff, you can follow me and Lindsay at the whole 115 yards. And again, we are across all social media. So thank you very much. And don't forget as well to follow the Absolute Football Podcast. We're not just on a Wednesday, we're on Mondays and Thursdays as well. And again, we are at Absolute Football Pod on Twitter. And wait. I do have the picture. I do have it. Hey, there we go. At Absolute Ball Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _ and the Absolute Football Podcast on Facebook as well. And on TikTok as well, Absolute Football Pod. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, come and join us. And we're always here every Wednesday for the Women's Super League and Women's Championship. So thank you very much and good evening. Goodbye. Bye.